I'm still not convinced it's real, and I watched the game.
He shoots a three. There's no hoop, and pulled stuff out that they thought he would like. Just
So
things.
TurboTax and Buffalo
Yeah,
Wild Wings. How many of my friends were degenerate gamblers at 22?
Now,
all of them. It's gonna be a fucking train.
welcome to the gray area. My name's Greg. That's Ray.
Hey.
And Paul's behind the camera. We're here to talk about everything sports and drink beer.
Let's get after it. That one was crisp.
It was
we got
good.
Back to form.
Paul
Okay.
was on it too.
He was. It was a trifecta. All right. So this last week has been like a basketball fan's heaven.
Of course.
Yeah. NBA's been incredible. The tournament's been awesome. I wanted to get into some of the biggest upsets before we started talking about our bracket specifically.
All right.
So the four biggest ones that everybody was talking about, Grand Canyon, who is a 12th seed, beat St. Mary's, who was a 5th seed in the first round, 75-66. So that was just an ass beating, and it shouldn't have been. And then Grand Canyon lost to Alabama in the second round, 72-61. So they're out.
Okay.
So they were a one-round wonder.
Of course.
But this is how ignorant I am. I didn't know Grand Canyon was an actual physical school. I thought it was like the University of Arizona, where it's like all just online classes. I'm still not convinced it's real, and I watched the game.
Well, they have a basketball team, so
It looked staged. Anyway, second upset. This is the one that everybody was talking about the most. Oakland, the 14th seed, beat Kentucky, the 3rd seed, in the first round, 80-76. Then Oakland proceeded to get stomped by NC State in the second round.
Yeah, that was frustrating.
Well, you knew that was going to happen.
Right.
I like NC State. But third biggest upset, James Madison's 12th seed beat Wisconsin, the 5th seed, in the first round, 72-61. So they pretty much gave them the business.
Oh, yeah.
People were pretty high on Wisconsin, even though they had faltered throughout the season. Clearly they didn't have it. Then James Madison got ruined by Duke in the second round, 93-55. So, again, one round. They had one good round in them. Then the fourth one that people were talking about a lot, because I guess they just thought it was funny, Yale, the 13th seed, beat Auburn, the 4th seed, 78-76 after Auburn blew a 10-point lead.
Oh, my gosh.
Then Yale was proceeded to be crushed by San Diego State in the next round, 85-57.
Yikes.
So that happened. People, no one saw those coming, really. At all.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them, for sure. Too bad they all got stomped in the next round. Nobody made it any farther. We don't have a Cinderella team this year, really.
Right.
But I wanted to go into some of the predictions that I had made in in last week's episode. So 2 of my 4 teams that I predicted to not make it into the Sweet 16 came true. Remember those parameters that I had set? So it was top 6 seed, top 25 offense, but outside of the top 150 defense. So Kentucky ended up losing in the first round to Oakland. So I was right on that one. Baylor lost in the second round to Clemson. So I was right on that one. The other 2 teams that did make it to the Sweet 16 were Illinois, so they'll play Iowa State in the third round, and Alabama, who will play Clemson in the third round. So remember, only one of these teams that have ever fit these criteria have made it to the Final Four. So if I was a betting man, I'd still say that these guys are probably going to get dropped before they make it to 8 or the Final Four. And then I was going to talk about, I guess, how our brackets are doing.
Yeah. I'm still in the 96th percentile.
Okay.
On the NCAA official bracket.
Gotcha.
But I had Kentucky and Kansas playing in the Final Four.
That's going to hurt you.
Yeah, that's a little frustrating.
That is going to hurt you.
I had Kentucky winning that and playing UConn in the final.
Okay.
So that was those are my 2 biggest upsets. Luckily, I guess Kansas made it past the first round. At least Kentucky didn't. But that's okay. What are you looking at?
So my entire Sweet 16 is correct outside of Alabama and Illinois, which were 2 of those teams that I'd picked to not make it.
Right.
That were higher seeds. They proved me wrong in that regard. But everything else I have. So I'm on the ESPN app where I did mine, and I'm in the 98th percentile.
Nice.
So I'm looking pretty good. I have who is in your Final Four?
UConn and North Carolina, Kentucky, and Kansas.
Okay, so I have UConn, Arizona, Houston, and Gonzaga.
Oh, okay.
So those will be my
Yeah.
final four. So right now I'm looking pretty good. Gonzaga makes me a little nervous with the Creighton matchup, but we'll see. They're still playing well. Also, I think people are shocked that Purdue didn't choke. They actually played well 2 games in a row. That big man, Edey, Zach Edey, isn't that his name?
I'm not sure.
He's leading like the whole NCAA in scoring.
Okay.
He's like a 4th-year senior. He probably won't make it to the league, but he's dominating college basketball right now. He looks like he might be the best player out there. So we'll see how far Purdue can actually go.
Sure.
I think I have Gonzaga beating them. So Gonzaga's got to get past Purdue before they can get
we'll
to
see.
Creighton.
They're in your final four.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. Everybody that's in my Elite Eight is still there.
Paul, you're not doing so hot. You're in like the 30th percentile. Everyone in your final four is still alive, but we'll see how that goes. It's Tennessee and Creighton, and you have Tennessee winning the whole thing. So I don't know. Creighton surprised people. So
Creighton's been shooting the lights out. It's been incredible. So I also wanted to go over some highlights.
Yeah.
So I have 3 main ones that I enjoyed. 2 of them I have a couple of clips for, but the first one, NC State's DJ Burns Jr. just playing bully ball, has been awesome to watch because you don't get to watch big men with their back to the basket in the NBA.
Right.
It doesn't work like that anymore. You got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to move quickly. So actually getting able to see old school basketball like that is cool.
I like college basketball for that reason. It's a little bit more of a team sport.
Yeah.
And then you get
no hero ball.
You actually get to play. You watch him play defense, and it's fun.
Well, he's got great footwork, and he's just throwing people out of the way, and he's not even really jumping high.
Right.
So the guy is 23 years old. He's 6'9", and he weighs 275 pounds.
So he's a monster.
So he's just a unit, and he's throwing people out of the way. I think I sent you the graphic of him. It was an interview after the game. And he goes, growing up, I watched a lot of Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
I just ended up with Zach Randolph's body, which is one of the funniest things I've ever read. Because Zach Randolph was one of those like old school bully ball guys.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the last guys in the league that played like that. So I don't know. I hope he can somehow find a way into the NBA, but I highly
we'll
doubt
see.
it. Yeah, I highly doubt it. And then second that I have is that Texas A&M versus Houston buzzer beater that sent it into OT. I actually have a clip for that if we want to pull that up.
1.2 seconds left. Texas A&M. Here's Taylor, keep in mind. As he raced to that corner. Radford, the inbounder, looking.
Look.
Oh.
And then watch this guy run up and just penguin slide into it. The shot's awesome, obviously, because the ball barely got to the dude as he leaked out. It like rolls.
Yeah.
You'll see it. But
that celebration.
he hits it. The celebration of that dude off the bench just coming in and penguin sliding is 10 out of 10. So the guy who hit the shots named Anderson Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
So he pushes it into OT. Unfortunately, they do end up losing.
Spoiler alert.
Houston ended up
Just
winning
kidding.
194 in overtime. But watch, the ball barely gets to him.
Yep.
And he's wide open because nobody expected that. And then hopefully penguin slide guy. No, they cut it. Cowards. Penguin slide was better than the actual play. Falling down hitting, that's crazy, though. Yeah, that dude that takes off, number 4. And there he is. Look, the announcers are hyped, too.
And that guy in the background.
Look, he's losing his mind. You've lived your whole life for that moment, so that's got to feel awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's what you dream of every time you're dribbling the ball in your driveway.
You do the shot clock in your head. That's what you're thinking about.
Oh, yeah.
So that's cool. And then the second clip I have, this one's going to be a long one because it's the whole back end of this game for the most part. It's just highlighted.
Okay.
It's the Creighton versus Oregon, double OT in the second round. This is awesome.
Cool.
So they're up by 8. There's 2 minutes left.
With a great respect for each other, I would imagine it'll be a pretty emotional handshake here.
Apparently these guys are buddies. I didn't know that until I'd watched this game.
But right now, it's the Blue Jays moving on.
But yeah,
That was a good battle.
That game was awesome. That was probably the most fun game that I watched. Obviously, watching Kentucky lose was pretty fun.
Right.
But That was really cool. It was one of the later games on a Saturday, so
Okay.
we'd all been drinking,
Yeah.
so we were losing our minds watching that one. When that big dude hit that 3, it was over. The roof had blown
Yeah,
off.
that was sick.
Yeah. All right, so I think you have a couple of things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Jack Gohlke. I've been following this kid's story. He played for Oakland.
Right.
He's the dude that
Beat
drained all the
Kentucky.
threes and beat Kentucky. He scored 16 threes in his first 2 games and 10 to knock out Kentucky. He immediately started cashing in on NIL deals, name, image, likeness. Originally, he was an accounting major at Hillsdale College and before he transferred over to Oakland. Less than 24 hours after their victory over Kentucky, he was promoting TurboTax.
That's incredible.
He
That's incredible.
He did an 8-second social media ad in the ballroom of his team's hotel. He just he shoots a 3. There's no hoop. He just said his thing and shot the 3, and it's
Get that bag.
he's
dude. Are
on
you
carpet.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Whoever that guy's agent is.
Yep. After his OT loss, Buffalo Wild Wings, the unofficial sponsor of March Madness
Right.
Overtime, they used Gohlke to promote 6 free boneless wings for pushing his game to overtime.
That's incredible.
He's got a couple other deals too. His Instagram followers went from 500 about to today he was at 69.9 thousand followers. That's been not even a
Nice.
week.
Also,
Yeah.
that's an insane
Yeah.
jump.
He's still climbing because I checked it like just a day or 2 ago and he was only at 30,000.
Was he a senior?
Yeah, he's a super senior. He was on his 5th
Okay.
year.
He got
Yeah,
redshirted.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So first, I want to show you this graphic of his 2023-2024 shots. Pull that up.
Oh,
That's his 3-point map.
okay.
He has 8 2-point attempts.
Yeah, I can
you
see
can
him.
see where they're
Yeah, I
at.
could count that. Just real
300,
quick. Yeah.
347 3-point attempts, and you can see exactly where they're
And
at.
one super deep too on the
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, good for him.
And that one was he probably thought he was shooting a 3.
Yeah, I saw him. He just kept coming off screens,
Yeah.
and he would shoot where his body, like his lower body, would stay one way, and his upper body would just
Right.
keep going, and it was still just wet. So it's how like Steph Curry shoots when he comes off screens. It was crazy. I've never seen somebody shoot like that, other than like Curry and Jimmer Fredette.
Sure.
Yeah.
So people have probably been wondering like how's he managing all this while he's like trying to keep his head in the game. So some people interviewed him or whatever, but apparently 2 of his buddies came to his rescue. After his Kentucky win, his inbox just on Instagram and social media just blew up.
Yeah.
So he couldn't even weed through the messages because there were too many messages. So he's talking to his buddies. One of them lives in Italy, I think, and the other one's somewhere else in the U.S. Basically, he gave his social media to them and said, "Look through this, because people are offering me deals, and I can't focus on
Sure,
this."
he had another game to play.
Yeah. So those 2 guys kind of became his makeshift managers. They combed through hundreds of DMs, and they looked for deals and pulled stuff out that they thought he would like. Just
So
things.
TurboTax and Buffalo
Yeah,
Wild Wings. Okay.
Yeah, so he wanted to focus on his game. He didn't want to have to deal with the distractions. He is currently settling on an agent and expects to have basketball tryouts and opportunities so he can play somewhere else after college. Probably won't be in the NBA.
Probably not.
but-
I mean, he's undersized.
Right.
And yeah, but he could play overseas or like maybe get a deal with the
Yeah.
G League team and
Right.
work his way up. So it's always possible. I've seen people do it.
You and I were watching this game, and we're sitting there making fun of him for looking
Yeah,
like he's 40.
Right. I was like, this guy's a 401k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little did we know the entire internet was also making memes. He first became aware of the memes when his team started making fun of him because of somebody online said he looked like an insurance salesman, so they started singing "Like a Good Neighbor." State Farm is there. Like they were at like a team dinner and everybody's just singing it.
Also, you said he was an accounting major, right? God,
Yeah.
that is spot on. That is spot
Right.
on. He looks like an accountant.
Yeah, he does. One of the Oakland coaches, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them said something along the lines of, "This tournament can change people's lives."
Oh, yeah.
And point in case.
All it takes is a game.
Yep.
Yeah. An upset
So-
like that,
so good
people
for
love
him.
that.
Yeah, he's got other deals coming in still. He just did some sandals with another teammate, but I don't know anything about that. And I follow him on Instagram now. It's fun.
Okay.
It's cool to see him. He's super awkward in front of the camera, just like us.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not used to it
He's
either,
never
man.
done it.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's all I have. I just thought that was a fun story.
Yeah, that was a really cool game to
Yeah.
watch, and that guy seems cool.
Yeah, he does. So,
So our next topic, we were going to go into that Shohei Ohtani
oh God.
situation.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just give the rundown of what's going on, and then we can talk about it? All right.
Yeah, full send.
Okay. So Shohei Ohtani is a Japanese pitcher and designated hitter for the LA Dodgers. He used to play for the Angels. He's a 2-time MVP winner, and he currently holds the largest contract in the MLB. They signed him in the offseason, $700 million for 10 years with the Dodgers. That's a disgusting amount of money.
Right.
The next guy in line makes like half of that. So he just blew everybody out of the water. And this is why this is a huge deal. So Shohei has an interpreter named Ippei Mizuhara, and he's admitted to wiring, Ippei has admitted to wiring at least $4.5 million to a California bookie. So Ippei claimed he thought it was legal as long as he wasn't betting on baseball. Tough look.
Well, I mean, he's not a U.S. citizen, right?
Correct.
So
But he's an interpreter, so he knows the
He
language
should-
and probably is
should know,
ingratiated into the
yeah.
culture better. Yeah. So he didn't have the money to pay the debt. So originally, Ohtani and Mizuhara stated that Ohtani was just being a good friend and helping him repay the debt and never participated in any of the gambling himself. So he was fronting this guy this money that he was wiring to this bookie. Once Ohtani's, it's either somebody in the Dodgers camp or on Ohtani's team realized that if he got like admitted to wiring money to a bookie, he would immediately get indefinitely suspended.
right, his name's on
from the
that money.
MLB.
Yeah.
So he switched up the story pretty quick and is now saying he had no idea of the gambling debt whatsoever. And he's saying that Mizuhara is like, he's accusing him of grand theft. He's saying he
Right.
took all the money,
Right.
which is pretty bad for him because now Ippei got fired from the Dodgers and he's most likely going to face criminal charges. That guy, just being an interpreter for Ohtani, was making $500,000 a year from the Dodgers just to translate back and forth. Lost that gig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's the rundown of the situation.
I mean, I don't have much to say other than what I think is really going on.
Go ahead. Lay it on me.
My personal theory, I should preface with that, which is probably most people's personal theory, but Ohtani made illegal bets. I'm going to straight up say that. That's what I think. The payments got flagged and reviewed by California authority, which did happen.
Sure.
The initial reaction was to claim that that payments were on behalf of Ohtani's interpreter.
Right.
And then everyone realized that Ohtani's going to get in too much trouble because his name's tied to that money.
So they scapegoated.
Yep. So
Yeah.
So his interpreter is now the fall guy, and it's either being covered up by the team
Or the league.
or
as a whole.
the league, because this is
This
huge for the league.
This is like the guy in the league right
Right.
now. It's like him and Mike Trout. Those are like
Yep.
the dudes. So that happening to your main player, yeah, they're going to protect him.
Do you think they paid off the interpreter to just go along with this?
I
And
can't imagine he's not getting some money under the
Yeah,
table to
yeah.
take on all this risk. Yeah.
even if he does go to jail here, whatever the punishment is, he'd
It's
send all the
also,
money back
it would
home.
be rich people white collar jail
Yeah.
for sports betting. It's not like he's going to gin pop.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I'm annoyed with sports betting in general
Yeah.
because the leagues are taking all of this money from these advertisers, which I don't have a problem with in theory. I don't have a problem with leagues taking the money. The issue is that there's so much of it. It's so in your face now. It's on every corner. It's on every
Yeah.
sideline wall. It's on uniforms. It's on helmets
Every
and other sports.
YouTube channel is endorsed by
Yeah.
DraftKings.
And-
like it's
And I'm not. I mean, I'd be the first to say that if DraftKings approached us and
Oh,
wanted to,
hell yeah.
we would.
Are
we
you
would
kidding
sell
me?
out in an instant.
yeah,
It's-
anytime DraftKings. Anytime.
So I don't want to. I don't want to be a hypocrite here or whatever. But the leagues are naive to think that their players aren't going to participate.
I think the only reason this got flagged is because it was so egregious. It was so much money.
Well, I know you have another example of something
do.
similar happening,
I do.
and so do I. This past year, or October 2023, the beginning of this NHL season, Shane Pinto of the Ottawa Senators was suspended for 41 games for activities relating to sports wagering. But the league's investigation, this is all quotes, by the way, the league's investigation found no evidence that Pinto made any wagers on NHL games, and the collective bargaining agreement between the NHL and the NHL Players Association states gambling on any NHL game is prohibited, but does not mention any other sports.
Okay.
So
You got to go by the rules.
there was zero clarification on what he bet on. So they straight up say that he did not wager on any.
So do you think that's why he only got a suspension?
No,
instead
because they say that you can. There's no mention of other sports. So if he was betting on basketball, or let's say it's baseball, because that's the season that was happening. Let's say he's betting on baseball. There's no reason that he should be suspended
At all. Yeah.
Period. And the irony of this is Bet99 sports betting app was on their helmet
Right. Yeah.
at the beginning of the season. Like, that is their helmet sponsor.
So we keep putting teams in Vegas.
Oh, right. I mean, this is a Senators.
What do you
but
mean? But you get what I'm saying. Like, sports and betting is intrinsically related. It's going to happen.
You can't put it in their face every second of every day and expect them to not participate. And these guys are human too. Shane Pinto is 22 years old.
Yeah.
He's just a kid.
You know how many of my friends were degenerate gamblers at 22?
Now,
all of them.
Now, if he
Every
had,
single one of them.
I could understand him having a legitimate gambling problem and the team saying, "Hey, man, we're going to pull you out so we can fix this."
Okay.
But I'm not sure that that's what happened. He did say he gave an apology to the team or to the public because he was, because he hurt the team or whatever, and he's looking forward to playing with them again. And the team put out a statement how they're ready to welcome him back as soon as they can. But I'm having a hard time piecing this one together because they don't tell you. According to them, he didn't bet on hockey. Okay. Now, if something has changed, and I'm wrong. But that is the information I have, and I double-checked that today. So I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Seems like you got a little screwed over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't understand.
Right.
Yeah. Which is entirely possible. But I have another situation from an NBA player.
Okay.
That I think it's a little different.
All right.
So this is going to kind of bring another side
to
it. All right. There's a man named Jonte Porter. His background, he's the brother of Michael Porter Jr., the guy who plays for the Nuggets.
Okay.
He was a Mizzou alum. He played with his brother. He played there from 2017 to 2019, and he's the current backup center for the Toronto Raptors. All right. So Jonte is currently out of the Raptors lineup and is subject of an NBA investigation into irregularities on prop betting. Little remix there. Irregularities on prop betting involving him. So you know what a prop bet is? It's like over, under points.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Got it.
So on January 26th, there was an increased betting interest on the under for Porter's props, which were set at 5.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 0.5 made threes. Porter played for 4 minutes and then left the game due to eye irritation and hit under on all these props. All right? So that was the first game that they're investigating. This is the second. On March 20th, Porter played for 3 minutes before leaving with an illness, while the prop bets were at 7.5 points and 5.5 rebounds. After each of these games, a DraftKings sportsbook reported that Porter's unders were the number one moneymakers that night in all of the NBA, both times that he left.
So he was just cheating.
Correct.
Right.
So then another sportsbook had detected unusual interest in Porter's props. People were trying to bet the under in unusually large amounts. So $10,000 to $20,000. The limit on prop betting in the NBA is usually around $1,000 to $2,000. So there was some kind of insider information here where this guy was like, hey, I'm going to leave the game and hit all of these unders. Put all your money on it. So they're currently investigating him. If this guy gets found guilty, he could face fines, suspension, or probable termination of his contract.
Wow.
So that's a different situation than the other two.
Kind of sounds like the Super Bowl streaker.
Yeah, kind of.
Put $30,000 on
himself.
a streaker. Yeah.
But this guy's not betting on himself to win.
Right.
He's betting on himself to suck. He just keeps leaving.
So let me ask you this then. If he did bet on that game to win, is that a different thing? If he bet that he would win that game.
You're still not allowed to do that.
I know you're not allowed to do that.
I mean, I would look at him differently if that's what he was doing. Because have you ever heard the Michael Jordan conspiracy?
No.
where Michael Jordan, you know how he took a break from basketball and went and played baseball
Yes.
for like a year and a half?
Yes.
They're saying he was betting on himself, like live betting on the Bulls on him,
Okay.
and they caught him. But since he was the face of the NBA, they suspended him, but didn't tell people they suspended him. So he said he made the
Interesting.
career decision to go play baseball. But that's the idea that
I've
he
never
did
heard that.
Yeah,
That's
people
interesting.
talk about it all the time. That's like the Michael Jordan gambling conspiracy. You could look it up.
Honestly, it's kind of cool. If a player was betting on themselves to win the game, like that's all they want to do is
Prove that they're the best. And we've already shown, I don't know if you've watched like The Last Dance or anything.
right.
Michael Jordan was a bit of a habitual gambler.
Right.
Gambler.
Okay,
Like, yeah,
well-
like a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah, but that just proves that he's so confident in his ability. Like if he was
Oh,
betting on it,
yeah.
he's so like
There hasn't been a man more confident.
Right.
The guy was associated.
there was
yeah.
there was a baseball player that did that. He got
Pete
kicked-
Rose.
Yeah, Pete Rose.
They,
There
don't,
it
they
is.
still don't let him in the Hall of Fame, which is insane because
Right.
he was an insanely good baseball
And he was
player.
betting on himself to win.
Correct. And they still kicked him out.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just make the rules very specific for certain things. Like, what kind of bet did you make on this game? Or what kind of bet? I don't see an issue if we're two hockey teams and Paul makes a bet and Paul's a different hockey team and makes a bet on our game. I don't see an issue with that personally.
Yeah. I don't know how
Because-
I feel about betting in your same league.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be punished for betting on other sports. Because you
No, I
don't-
completely
yeah.
agree with that.
I think the only guy that really should be in trouble out of the ones that we were listing was Jonte Porter. 'Cause
Oh, right.
He's very clearly shading stats. People were bringing in just $20,000. They were like, yeah, him on the under. I heard he's got an eye injury. Like, it's just blatant cheating. So that dude's probably out.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yes, I agree. They need to be more specific with it because it's becoming too prevalent. So it's
And if they're going to
yeah.
keep taking money from them as advertisers,
Yeah.
from these sports books as advertisers, there needs to be clarification.
Also, they're going to make it just legal across the board soon anyway.
I was actually wondering about that. It's not legal where we are.
Correct.
We're in Missouri. It's not legal here. Could we get a sponsorship from a sports book for our channel? Would they even care to talk to us? I'm probably ruining our chances now if they're not.
Yeah, I don't know. You're doing a lot of talking, Greg. I think you should stop doing that.
I'm just curious how that works.
I actually have no idea.
Okay.
I have no clue. I'm not a sports lawyer.
You should be.
I would not survive in law school. All right. Do you have anything else to follow up with
No,
on that?
no, that's it.
Did you have anything? I think you had some hockey topics. You wanted to
Yeah,
talk about.
NHL news. Nothing's really going on. Everybody's in playoff race right now, and nothing crazy has happened. The New York Rangers are the only team in the league so far that have clinched their playoff spot. The Bruins can clinch their playoff spot tonight if they get at least 1 point against the Lightning.
Okay.
So
they
they
can tie-
they just
or
have
go
to
to
they
OT.
have to tie or win.
Yeah.
They're playing this evening as we speak. So by the time you see this, it's probably already over, and they've probably already clinched. Actually, I don't know. The Lightning are pretty good too. So
We'll see.
the Lightning and Capitals are sitting in the 2 wild card spots in the East. Washington trailed by the It is trailed by the Red Wings by 2 points. So Washington's sitting at 81 points. Detroit's at 79. So anything can happen there. Western Conference playoff race. The Blues lost to Vegas on Monday in overtime. If they won that game, they would have been, I think, 2 or 3 points behind Vegas, and Vegas lost to the Predators the following night.
Okay.
So it would have put the Blues. It would have the Blues would have tied Vegas essentially.
Gotcha.
But now the Blues are still 6 points behind Vegas, trailed by Minnesota by 3 points. So
So realistically, what are our shots of making the playoffs?
not high. Not the way they're playing. I'm not confident. If I had to make a prediction now, they're not going to make it.
Okay, but it'll be close.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be within 4 to 6
They've done
points.
crazier shit,
I know.
but we'll see.
And then I don't see anyone catching up to Nashville. They're still in the number 1 wild card spot, but they're crushing it. They have a 6-game win streak. They won 16 of the last 20, and 2 of those losses were overtime. So they're 16-2-2 in their last 20 games.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and they were really bad a couple months ago. So they could make a serious run. They could be 2019 Blues, maybe. They weren't in last place at the beginning of the season,
Right.
but
No one's ever gonna do that.
I'm waiting for the movie.
Yeah, They should make a movie. That'd be sick.
Yeah, there's approximately 10 games left in this regular season, give or take a few for each team. So that's where we're sitting right now.
Okay, that's about where we are with basketball.
Okay.
Too. And with that segue, I think maybe to cap off our show, we should finish with Ray's Basketball Corner. All right, so there's a few topics I wanted to cover in the NBA. Like I said, we're getting down to the crunch time, so all these games are pretty important. I'm going to start with one that really just makes my heart happy.
Uh-oh.
The Boston Celtics blew a 30-point lead to the Hawks and ended up losing the game. So the 25th of this month, the Celtics end up losing to the Hawks 120 to 118 after being up by 30 points in the second quarter. The Celtics were down Drew Holiday and Derek White, but the Hawks were down Trae Young, who's their best player. So there's no excuses. They just straight up blew it. So I saw a stat that the 30-point comeback was the 5th largest in NBA history. So I got curious. What was the first? So the first biggest comeback ever of all time is the Utah Jazz, coming back from a 36-point deficit to beat the Denver Nuggets 107 to 103 back in November of 1996. So that would have been Malone and Stockton just refusing to lose that game. In other news, moving on, the Lakers rally after being down 19 points in the fourth to beat the Bucks. This was the game that happened last night. So Tuesday, March 26th, the Lakers complete a double overtime comeback victory over the Bucks, 128 to 126. We didn't have LeBron. He wasn't playing. This is the second time the Lakers have beaten the Bucks without LeBron this season. We only play them twice. So both times we got him. Giannis missed 2 crucial free throws in the second OT that pretty much sealed the deal for the Lakers because we didn't miss in the overtime at the line. And the big players for the Lakers that ended up letting us win this is Anthony Davis had 34 points, 23 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. And Austin Reeves had 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists for a triple-double to put the Bucks away. God, Dame tried his heart out because Dame's known for like Dame time, you know, the clutch shots. He had like 3 opportunities to ice us. Didn't matter. We came back and did it. I've never been gone from being so sad to so happy so quickly in a game.
You were texting me during that game.
Just losing my mind.
Every 5
I was
seconds.
like, I'm screaming, crying, and throwing up. Yeah, I was like, I can't handle this. I was losing my mind. I have another Lakers stat that happened earlier. The Lakers scored the most points they have in 37 years against the Pacers. So this is the game before the Bucks.
Whoa.
Sunday, March 24th, the Lakers defeated the Pacers 150 to 145, scoring more points in a single game than they have in 37 years. 4 Lakers scored 25 points or more in this outing. LeBron, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Spencer Dinwiddie. Very rarely do you see 4 guys drop 25 on somebody. So they said it was the most in 37 years. So I was curious to know which team had dropped the most points. The Lakers' highest scoring game ever happened in the 1971-1972 season when they beat the Golden State Warriors 162 to 99. That team was led by Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, and Gail Goodrich. That team later went on to win the championship that year. So, good signs. Lakers aren't looking super hot standings-wise, but they're doing some pretty cool shit.
There you go.
So hopefully we can try to make a push here.
Where are they seated right now?
We are the 9th seed.
Okay.
So we're still in play-in tournament territory, but we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out. The Rockets are currently on the longest win streak in the league. The Rockets are on a 9-game win streak, which is the longest active streak right now in the NBA. They're a game back from Golden State to take over that 10th seed spot, which is where you need to be in order to be in the play-in tournament.
Okay.
So this will be the first time in a while that Golden State, while Steph Curry's healthy, might not make the playoffs.
Okay. We'll see.
So the Rockets' record is 36-35. Golden State's 37-34. So they could knock them out. I'd much rather play Golden State in that play-in tournament than the Rockets because the Rockets clearly look scary right now, and they're faster and younger. So I'm hoping the Warriors hold out. The Rockets don't get there, but we'll see. And then to finish off Ray's Basketball Corner, I have a couple clips that I wanted you to watch. So remember that Wembanyama guy that I showed you a couple of weeks ago when he was getting dunked on?
Yep.
Thought it'd only be fair to show you him actually doing something cool since I watched him get like yammed on. All right. So this is Spurs versus Grizzlies. This is one of the highlights of him from that game. So he gets the block, just destroys the guy.
He doesn't even move. He just
swallows up the ball, and then, oop!
Holy cow!
He caught it way back here.
He also didn't have to jump.
No, he's 7'4". He is 7'4" tall.
Sure, he's not 7'6".
I am absolutely positive. I wrote it down this time. Comment section. But yeah, that's nuts. The fact that you can move around like that.
Right.
You're on both sides of the ball there. He gets the block. And that's ridiculous. He didn't jump for that block either.
He also didn't have to swat it.
No, he needed to. And then he catches it down here. That was the shittiest lob pass. And he's so long, it doesn't matter.
That was impressive.
Yeah, but they end up losing that game because the Spurs
boo.
are terrible. The Grizzlies are bad too, but the Spurs are extra bad. The Grizz ended up winning that 99-97. And then I was looking for one last clip. So I was going through highlights of last night's games. I watched the top 5 and I couldn't decide on one because they're all pretty sick. So
we're just gonna watch the
we're
top
gonna watch
5.
the top 5 from last night.
He talks so fast.
Yeah, this is sick.
Nice.
Classic Klay Thompson missing a 3.
Good thing his teammates there.
How did he even time that though? It hit on the other side of the rim.
Lucky.
I don't know. He seemed to know what he was doing. It's a sick lob.
Whoa.
Malik can jump too, man. He used to be a Laker. The ball movement into another
Oh my
lob. Kuminga
gosh.
with another dunk. Guy's just ripping the rim off. That's good ball movement. Oh, this one's sick. And then just the craziest jelly layup you've ever seen. I don't even know how he did it. Also, that guy's like super tall too.
How tall is he?
I want to say 7'2". Oh, yeah. Here's some more Lakers glazing. That was one of the shots where Lillard tried to put us away, and Anthony Davis said, no, thank you.
Beautiful.
Wasn't coming down. I was worried that they were going to call it a goaltending. It was still going up. We're safe. We are safe. That was to bring it into, like, the second
Nice.
OT. Yeah. So, like I said at the beginning of the episode, this week's just been like basketball heaven. I've been having the time of my life.
Good job.
But that pretty much wraps it up for me.
Sweet. I don't have anything else.
All right.
So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We have, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter.
There you go.
And YouTube. At gray area _ sports. At gray area _ sports. It's like a phone number, and it's like a phone number in a commercial. I'm just going to say it 15 times. At gray area _ sports. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
Thanks for coming. Take it easy.
Hey, producer Paul here. If you have a video that you want Greg and Ray to talk about, discuss, or even overreact to, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Thank you very much.